For too many years, families of children with devastating illnesses have felt helpless as they watch their child suffer. Today, they're taking matters into their own hands and finally finding relief treating their child with cannabis. This is one family's story.
Welcome to another episode of Love and Cannabis. I am Nina Simmonsto.
And I am Osiris Stephenand.
And we are the proud parents of Aiden Stephen.
Hey guys, welcome to another episode.
Hello.
I hope you guys are doing great out there. For the loved ones, I hope everyone's safe and healthy. And if you had anyone that passed on through this whole COVID thing, our condolences to you and your friends and families, man. It's been an interesting time, but I just wanted to say that, we're all thinking about everyone that's out there in the cannabis world and outside of the cannabis that, love and just blessings and hope that everybody's okay.
Yes.
So tonight is our first night of doing our podcast with an interview. And
yes! Our first guest. But also to hear for our, future shows and other guests, definitely tune in for our MJBulls. You can catch us on every Wednesday night. We'll always have something going on. So definitely check us out, and also all the other episodes and podcasters that are out there on MJBulls. But definitely check us out. And not to take any more time, but we just want to jump in because we're really excited to talk about this guy. This brother I met some years ago through the trade show, Cannabis World Congress. And he and I, we just kind of hit it off. And just understanding where he comes from and his involvement in this industry. Currently, he's now the National Director of Outreach for the Edify PAC. He's also the National Director of Veterans Outreach. He was also the founder of Bridge H2O LLC. And he's a New Jersey resident. This guy is the guy. If you want to get to the New Jersey realm, this is the man you need to go through to talk to, really get an understand of the landscape. I mean, wealth of information, good friends with the Governor Murphy, also knows all the mayors in New Jersey. And it's a pleasure to even get the guy here to even sit down and talk to us. Yes.
And so also, I want to thank him for his service because he is also a veteran.
Yes.
And
thank you
for what you've done and your dedication, your commitment to our country and our values. So appreciate you and thank you. So without further ado, I want to introduce Leo Bridgewater.
Wow.
I'm saying, brother, this is how we do it.
Wow.
This is how we do it.
All right, so I am blushing now. If I was white, I'd be red from blushing right now. You want to know what's deep? When someone reads off some of the stuff that you've done, that like a lot of times, that's one of those moments where you like, damn, I did that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, cause you so busy. You know what I'm saying? Like I've been like, it's crazy. I've been so busy. I haven't even seen the Jordan documentary yet.
Oh, I haven't either. So
yeah, I got it saved on the DVR though, but I've been crazy busy. It's been Zoom meeting, conference call, emails, stuff like that. So when I get a chance to have this kind of an interview, you know what I'm saying? It's like, So thank you for letting me be the first guest and everything like that. And thank you for wearing that damn shirt. I love it. It looks good on you. It is beautiful. Yes, I am a bona fide Philadelphia Eagles fan. Yeah, so let's get that straight right now.
No problem. I'm in New York. I'm a Giants fan, so we can work that out.
Okay, I just want to point that out. Okay, go ahead, Osiris. Anything else? Yes. Hello.
Yo, so I mean, I'm thinking back. We've known each other about I'd say about 3.5 years now. Going back since the first show that we met.
Is it? It feels long. Well, these cannabis years is dog years, man.
Yeah.
These are serious dog years. And so I think that, damn, Osiris, I think you're right.
Yeah, we met back in 2018. The first one in New York.
Yeah.
And then we see each other ever since.
Gia, Roz, everybody. Yeah. Jake, everybody. Wow.
I remember you introduced me to the Minorities for Medical Marijuana, where you were president in the New Jersey chapter, correct?
Yep. I was the New Jersey chapter president, and then I became national director of veterans outreach. So I made it to the executive leadership team. Okay. And so, and mind you, at that time we were just coming off because we had gotten post-traumatic stress disorder added to the New Jersey medical marijuana program.
Congrats on that.
And, like we were fresh off of getting Phil Murphy elected, you know what I'm saying? Because that was like a big, like a lot of things were happening in succession. You look at when you have two, I think we gravitated to each other because back then there wasn't a whole lot of us going anyway.
No.
You see what I'm saying? We were very, and so
in the minority.
Talked about, right. And then when you look at, and then filter that out to our affiliation now with that organization. Mm-hmm. You see what I'm saying? And what that affiliation is, like what it's provided us, which is a camera angle that's continuously at wide angle. Mm-hmm. You see what I'm saying? Yeah. You see we're continuously, exposed to the industry in physical carnage. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Which is completely different when you're talking about activism and everything like that, because everything's in theory. You see what I'm saying? There's not very many people who are going from the theoretical, political arguing to actually being amongst the actual real movers and shakers. And so it kind of, one of the things I give people, the analogy that I give people is that there's a couple of them. The first one is that everybody in the United States is building their teams like a football team. They got their quarterbacks, their O-line, their wide receivers, their tight ends, their fullback, and they they're going to run a West Coast shotgun offense. And they're going to run the most proficient West Coast shotgun offense out that you can think. Matter of fact, they even got a defense that's a bunch of goons that's ready to just knock everybody out. You know what I'm saying? That's how everybody in industry, no matter what your level is, that is how they are building their teams, okay? To be able to do specifically that, to whoop your ass, okay? Yeah. Now, here's the problem. They run out onto the field and they figure out the world plays soccer.
The landscape is totally different.
Hilarious.
It's a whole different game. Yeah. And when you start, and so when you get into this game and you start thinking on a global level, see that minority inclusion and equity and all that stuff, it's just American issues. You see what I'm saying? But this is a global game. And our exposure on a continuous basis, you know what I'm saying, is what fuels the things that we say and our perfume. You see what I'm saying? The tragedy of it all is that you have so many people who are just trying to, plant their flag and scream at the top of their lungs that they're it. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
When you look at guys like us there are those who are talking about doing it, and then there are those who are actually doing it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And right now, so like if you at this point, when you look at the way this industry is moving, you know what I'm saying, people are missing the point. You, everybody, everyone within the range of my voice has to realize that we are literally walking in historical times.
Yes.
We are the only ones who will ever experience the end of prohibition on cannabis that can do something about it. And when you look at, and when you start to break that down, when you look at different demographics in terms of African Americans, we are not time appropriate in our education and involvement.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Now, there are a number of variables that we can list, you know what I'm saying? And I'm not going to go into it, you know what I'm saying? I've heard it time and time again. But some of the biggest variables is by our own hand. We are all trapped, because we are all trapped by the technology of our time, and we are all trapped by the thinking of another time.
You got a point there.
You see what I'm saying? And so when you look at, and so for our people, you know what I'm saying? But see, for us, you know what I'm saying? What the way that translates visually, you know what I'm saying, is we see the industry on a macro and micro level because of what happens at the CWCB Expo.
Okay.
You see what I'm saying? We're exposed to, because we're exposed to plant touching and ancillary. Yeah. We see it all. We also are exposed to art. So we have the science, technology, engineering, art, and math. And not STEM, but STEAM.
And don't forget the decision makers.
Well, okay, so now we gonna break that down even further. Because see, the thing is that, you know what I'm saying, because of that affiliation, I sit on the advisory board for the CWCB Expo. And so that position, you know what I'm saying, puts me indoors where I'm sitting next to people like, you know, Bruce Linton, you know what I'm saying? We know Jeff Whalen, you know what I'm saying? We know these, and these are not like some like, you know what I'm saying? And, you know, like even Christian Ralph Iannuzzi and all them. Like, these are people whom we, hey, you know, Bestivola, you know what I'm saying, Hadley Ford, I know them all. Like, we, you know what I'm saying? And we have and here's what's interesting is I have very matter-of-fact conversations with these people. You know what I'm saying? But those conversations will always remain private between me and them. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. But the thing is that it's always an upliftment and stuff like that, and out of pure respect. And it's very difficult when I go from those kinds of conversations and I go other places and I hear people saying things and I'm just like, you
get the cringe-worthy looks.
I'll be sitting there like, and then I'll be watching us chop each other down in public, and I'll be like, oh, see, that's why we
can't get where we need to be.
Yeah. So it's just, you know, like these are all the things in identifying. Like, you have to understand, my actual background is DoD telecommunications. I'm a signal guy. You know what I'm saying? I worked for General David Petraeus, and you know, when he was I was on his staff. I did the NTMI mission back in 2005. Remember when George Bush was giving a State of the Union address? That unit he was talking about, that was us.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah, it was the NATO training mission. So we did that mission. That was us training the new Iraqi army. You see what I'm saying? So I also worked for Admiral Mike Mullins. He was you know, before he became chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff, he was my base commander. You know what I'm saying? When I came home when I redeployed back to Italy and the doors of that C-17 came down, he was the one standing at the ramp waiting on us. Wow. So my point is that, you know what I'm saying, I worked for, we had Air Marshal Dusty Miller, General Agnor Rokas, all Dutch Army, you know, General Rick Lynch, he became commander of the 3rd Infantry Division. Admiral Mullins became chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff, and Dave Petraeus became director of the CIA. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So these were all my bosses. My job was to make sure that they could talk to each other and they can go talk back to the Pentagon. I worked at the Pentagon for a couple of years when I got out. So you have to understand, when I talk about leadership and everything like that, recognize who my reference points are. So I don't give that shit out very lightly. And so, having seen the decisions that have to be made, let me tell you the biggest lessons I learned from my deployments and working for the Pentagon and working for ITT Systems as a contractor. Yeah. I learned that I did not want to be a general.
Really?
I learned that I don't care. I learned that it's much easier to bring down a government than it is to actually run one. And that's why I don't want to be a general. You know what I'm saying? I learned that real fucking quick. I don't care what your lot in life is, but there are some decisions in life that I don't care what your background is, you just don't want to be a part of. Oof. That's the best way I could put it. I've seen those kinds of I've participated, I've witnessed and listened to those kinds of conversations where those kinds of decisions will be made, where people will die and all that shit. You know what I'm saying?
Wow.
And and you know, like I literally am the spook by the door. I'm telling y'all, and that's why I come. That's why, and so, and as a telecommunications specialist and everything like that, you have to recognize that our ability to effectively communicate is a skill that we have to have honed to be able to reach that level of responsibility, because you can only have maybe one chance to call home for help. So you better be able to say what the fuck you need to say as clearly and as quickly and as smoothly as possible, and effective too. And so to be able to communicate, and when you be in these, I've been in briefings where, you know, like it's really like, look, don't say yes when you know the answer is no. Don't lie. You know what I'm saying? I have literally had the unfortunate experience. I've had the unfortunate life experience of being in the room listening to Admiral Mike Mullins, who was a 4-star admiral, chew out General David Petraeus, who was a 3-star general, in the middle of a VTC. And I won't. I will never say that the stuff that was said is classified. Yeah. But what I will tell you is that just understand that the you see my uncomfortableness and everything like that. That's how bad it was.
Got it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Leo, I know that you're a vet, and like what you're just saying, that you were in the military and had to deal with a lot of things. And that will make you feel uncomfortable, that were traumatic. And when I was reading your bio, what really struck out was your advocacy for veterans.
Yeah.
In terms of getting them access to cannabis and testifying to get that PSD diagnosis on the MJ program.
Yeah.
Can you just tell us how that happened? And, you having all this IT experience, how did that go into being an advocate for cannabis?
Well, all right, first of all, you have the greatest military in the history of the planet. And the reason why that is because we know every person has lived under an environment that fosters success. Now, we only know success one way, and that's just together. We've always done it together.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And so, having foresight or just wherewithal to just do something is the way we were built. Now, my passion and everything like that is just a direct reflection of the environments at which I come from, because those environments, the operational tempo was really, really high. You see what I'm saying? And so, so when I see something, you know what I'm saying, the only thing I know how to do is to attack, and attack as best I can.
Got it. Okay.
As best I can. So that's where my motivation comes from. It's just if I know people who would see who would see this whole thing and be like, damn, Bridgewater, what kind of shit show y'all running here? And so I'm reacting to that. You see what I'm saying? If first sergeants seen our barracks, we'd be in trouble. That being said, like a lot of people, I got into this because either something happened to me or somebody I love. In this particular instance, I started losing friends who were to suicide. And I actually had a hand in helping one and talking one down. You know what I'm saying? And so, and mind you, this man happened to be one of the finest soldiers I've ever had the honor of serving with. You know what I'm saying? And to hear him in this state that he was in, you know what I'm saying? Because he was medically discharged and he was on opioids and everything like that, suicidal. Yeah. And listen, when this call came through, you know what I'm saying? It was like at 11 o'clock, 1 o'clock in the morning. My wife is sitting on the couch crying because she's frozen, and I'm screaming. I'm trying to get him to, he answered his phone. You know what I'm saying? We prayed the whole 9 yards. Then he hung up on me. 10 minutes later, cops called me and said, we got him. You know what I'm saying? Yup. Took him to the hospital. He called me and thanked me the whole 9 yards.
Wow, wonderful.
Like that. And I be trying to tell people yo, that 22 veteran suicides a day, that shit is real. It's real, real. Yeah. It's real.
Well, yeah, I saw that. So 22 veterans commit suicide a day. That's national or is global?
Yeah. No, it's national, and it's 5 a week in New Jersey.
Wow.
Yeah. It's like people are not people don't really understand the gravity of this whole situation. Look, they passing them pills out at the VA like it's fucking candy.
See, and it's still it's temporary.
Yeah, like yo, like you should see how the fuck this is. It's like, and check this out, y'all. 22 is the number they settled on.
It could be more, is what you're saying.
Listen, right now, you have more Vietnam veterans who have come home and committed suicide than died in the war.
Wow. It's heartbreaking.
Yeah, check this out. We passed that number years ago. Okay,
so you're saying that the number for the 22 is outdated number, that it's actually...
It actually could be more. That's just the number that they settled on.
Yeah, because I think if it was any higher now, I think it would be a shock to the system.
No. Listen, the fact that they settled on 22 was part of the argument. You have to understand.
Oh, it was.
Yes. Yeah, but listen, think about it though. Just ask yourself this, taxpaying citizen. Let me help you. Yeah, because now okay. See, now the Jersey dude in me is coming out. This matter of fact, the Jersey New York dude, because New York is my second home. Okay, all right. You taxpaying citizen. You know what I'm saying? Both of y'all. You know what I'm saying? Y'all paid about. Y'all spent about $4 million on me. That's how much it cost you to send me the basic training, to send me to go learn about satellite communications and microwave communications. That's how much money you spent on all my equipment. That's how much it cost you when I was my hazard pay. That's how much it cost you when I got out of the Army. All my contracts working for these different telecommunication companies, all my time at the Pentagon. Yeah, you spent about $4 million on me. Okay.
Wow.
Now, that being said, what I am giving you right now, taxpaying citizen, I would imagine you would feel like you're getting a much better rate on return on investment than a fucking suicide. So if you want to know where all my fucking money is, and what you've been spending my money in, every time one of us takes himself out, you know how much fucking money that was that just went down the drain?
Wow. And so, Leo,
that's
in terms of reasons why, is it common, or is it in terms of, is it they come back and they just can't relate back to real, like what are you seeing as a common factor or rationale or reason why
the PTSD is happening.
The PTSD is happening
once you guys return.
Okay, so all right, so it's I will say I will sum it up in one way. It's all about the treatment. Okay, now understand something. Currently, you know what I'm saying, we're opting to take the D out of PTSD, and just leaving it as post-traumatic stress.
Got it.
Okay. All right, and the reason why you're taking the D out of the PTSD, you know what I'm saying, is because your body's naturally reaction to sustained or continuous trauma, you know what I'm saying, the things that happen, that's not a disorder.
Yes, I understand what you're saying.
That's actually, your body's supposed to, it's not, you know what I'm saying? So
yes.
It's so take that, you know, like tomato, you know, just right now, I'm just telling you, like, you know, so you can take, but just so you know, right? And then you also, and when you do that as well, you know what I'm saying, now, you know what I'm saying, if you want to add disorder, then don't do it when you're talking about combat zone post-traumatic stress. But I will say you can use it when it comes to urban post-traumatic stress, because the disorder is where you look at, that's what we living in.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I think post-traumatic stress disorder is not a human condition. I think post-traumatic stress disorder is a environment, and we are not looking at the numbers correctly. We don't know how to read what's in front of us. For instance, and I'll give you an example. Trenton, New Jersey is 7 square miles. Okay, you have about 110 10,000 people packed into about 5 square miles of that, okay?
Okay.
Now, this is the capital city of the second wealthiest state in the country, okay? And out of that 100,000 people, 58,000 people were of voting age, okay? And for whatever reason, only 38,000 people were registered to vote, all right? Now, out of that 38,000 people, guess how many people actually voted in the last election?
I can only imagine.
8,000. 8,000, yup.
Wow.
Yup.
So
now listen, this is what it looks like when majority of the people have literally checked out of their most basic of civic responsibilities, and that is just voting. That shit is free. It's open all day and late at night, all that shit. And none of these people do that shit. And it ain't even the old people, because you don't have to convince them. They vote. That's who the 8,000 is, majority of it. You know what I'm saying? That's what, you see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So now, you see what I'm saying? But what that is that's symptomatic of an environment that is fostered nothing but post-traumatic stress disorder. That's what the disorder is. It's the environment as a whole. These people out here shooting each other, not even 20 yards from where I'm sitting at right now in the back of my house. 4 days ago, somebody got shot in the middle of the street. For what? You see what I'm saying?
So it's almost like you're going back to war here.
Yeah, exactly. I see it all. You see what I'm saying? I hear it all. But the thing is that I am, and interestingly enough, I am, unusually comfortable. It's just, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, I am actually comfortable. You know what I'm saying? I'm just like, yeah, okay, shit. If you can hear it, it's too late. You ain't gonna get it. That's how I was in Baghdad. Yeah, I swear to God. And you know what's even crazier for me too is that the years that I was in Baghdad, you know what I'm saying, I was there to see the Transitional National Assembly take their seats, the Iraqi people voting for the first time. All that shit. Yeah, I seen all that. You know what I'm saying? I've met Jalil Talabani, the first president after Saddam. I was there when all that shit was going down in Baghdad. You know what I'm saying? Yes. I was running let me tell you something, dude. When I was running some really wild missions. So that's why when I come back here and we talk about leadership and everything like that, I'm looking at, particularly when it comes to us in this industry, our leadership is not time appropriate. We're not, you know what I'm saying? Like if the established, the true leadership in the cannabis industry, and Osiris, I'm sure you can back me up on this, the true leadership, African-American leadership in the cannabis industry that's identified by the established authority is not time appropriate. So if the governor of New Jersey or the governor of New York wants to send a message to all black people or people of color in the cannabis industry, they're going to go to Oprah Winfrey, Michael Jordan, and Al Sharpton.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. And Jay-Z, king of the, and Jay-Z, the king of the blacks. Okay. Okay. Listen to me. Oprah Winfrey, Michael Jordan, Al Sharpton, and Jay-Z are not Oprah Winfrey, Al Sharpton, Michael Jordan, and Jay-Z in the cannabis industry. I mean, we know who they are, but they ain't that. That's not who you go to. Like if you want to know, if you want to talk about policy and things that affect us and everything like that, they are not the ones that you go talk to. You know what I'm saying? And so rather than you, and so, if you're going to do something, if you're going to truly enact progress, you see what I'm saying, or be influential, you got to, when people look under the hood, they're going to need to see what you've done. And so when you talk about, getting post-traumatic stress disorder added as a qualifying condition to the New Jersey medical marijuana program, that was some pretty historical shit. But then you turn around and then we found out last week that the case that I'm a part of, that was suing the Department of Justice, was dismissed with prejudice out of the Southern District of New York City, last week. So now we're going to the Supreme Court. So we just found out.
You got to refresh my memory about that case.
That's the one, me, Marvin Washington, Jose Balin, Alexis Bartel, we're suing Sessions. You know what I'm saying? That one, that case, yeah. So now we just found out like a week or two ago we're going to the Supreme Court.
Wow.
So yeah, to make cannabis unconstitutional as a Schedule I drug.
Oh,
and
yes.
You know what I'm saying? Because it don't make, and this is the thing about, you know, what I've learned about having that veteran voice, particularly when it comes to the cannabis industry. Because when I'm inside the State House or the Capitol, they talk to me different than they talk to you.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? And I had to learn how, and what I had to learn to do is I had to learn how to get my talking points right. You know what I'm saying? Be able to say the meaning, like, and be very direct. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And a lot of times, just like, look, here's the what is, because I go in, when I'm around these people, when I'm around the governor, when I'm around the senator, whoever, you know what I'm saying, particularly these people, I be in brief mode.
Mm-hmm.
I talk to him like I would be talking to Albert Mullins or General Petraeus. You know what I'm saying? I give him the what is, because because the thing is that, see, we all can say what we want to say. You know what I'm saying? This is, again, lessons I learned from working for these type of men and watching them make these types of decisions. And we can say whatever we want to say, but it's different when you're sitting in that chair. And that's why they say heavy is the head that wears the crown.
Mm.
Be careful what you ask for. You know what I'm saying? People say to me all the time, "Oh, Leo, you should run for office." Hell no. Are you kidding me? Shit. No. I'm
good.
No. I don't even do the if I. You know what I'm saying? Would you want to be the person in charge during this shit right here?
It's not
really?
Yeah,
exactly.
You can't. You gotta be cold.
Exactly.
You gotta be ice. You gotta have ice to do this.
Some real hard decisions
to be made.
Some life decisions are being made right now. Yeah. And I have had the unfortunate, I've had the experience of being in a room with this type of war, okay? You know what I'm saying? I have seen and done the worst that man can do to man. You know what I'm saying? And so I've learned not to be very cavalier. I think people are very cavalier in the way, and some of the things that they say and the terminology that they use and whatnot, not fully understanding. And again, also not fully understanding where we are at this time in time in these historical days. This is crazy.
It is that. So just thinking about it now, putting everything together in the sense of especially looking in New Jersey, looking just in general across the board as cannabis has been unfolding. When you talk about social equity and your prison reform programs, that they're looking to minimize, basically the laws around cannabis being caught with a certain amount, that you get a ticket. But then how about those who are already in prison, been serving those times when there was a 3 strikes you're out rule during the Clinton era and Ronald Reagan's eras? What's happened with them? Are they going to be allowed to be out? What's going on with it now, period?
All right, so let's look at it again. Let's take that whole scenario, okay, and let's look at it from another camera lens for a hot second, okay? And I know you'll be able to follow me on this. The decision makers, you know what I'm saying, all of them. You have 2 types of decision makers that's in office right now. Mm-hmm. You got Flintstones and you got Jetsons. Okay. Now, and listen, those 2 designators, they actually transcend race, religion, gender, and more importantly, the most important thing that those designators transcend, they also transcend age, because it's some young ass Flintstones, okay? And there are a lot of Jetsons who are pretending to be Flintstones because it's more profitable for them, i.e. Kevin Sabat and them with Rand. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, now, the thing is that for the most part, it is very easy for people such as ourselves to identify who's who based on the language that they use. You understand what I'm saying? Even when you have some, I'll give you a perfect example. Here's the language, okay? The tell me who wrote this ballot question, okay? You could tell based on this question in New Jersey for our ballot. When I finished telling you, I want both of you to tell me who do you think wrote it, a Jetson or a Flintstone, okay?
Okay.
Now, here's the question.
I'm ready.
Should the state of New Jersey tax and regulate a form of marijuana called cannabis for usage for persons over the age of 21?
That sounds like a Flintstone.
Yep.
It sounds like an oxymoron.
A form of marijuana called cannabis.
What is that? I had to think. That's why I didn't answer.
I'm like, that sounds like a Flintstone. Like, it's the same plant. What do you?
Well, no. See, what it is that it's actually cannabis.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So, but you so Flintstone in your thinking, you gave the derogatory term
exactly
the proper term place. You know what I'm saying? If you was gonna say that shit, then you should have said a form of cannabis called marijuana. There you go.
Mm-hmm.
You see what I'm saying? That's how that tells you that's how they think about this shit. That's how little they think of this shit. Totally. And it's also indicative of the monumental amount of education that is going to be required. And not to get this shit voted in, but to actually properly regulate this shit. The person who came up with that fucking question is probably going to have some sort of say-so on how this shit is regulated or who's a decision maker. That's what I'm talking about.
That's scary.
And yes, exactly. That's one of the reasons why the shit is not working right. So again, when you talk about this whole equity thing, people only keep it, when they talk about equity, they're only talking about business. When I talk about equity, I talk about all the shit that I see, like I see at the expo and everything, but I also want some equity in the governance of this shit. Yeah. I want equity in the enforcement of this shit. Yeah. I want inspectors that look like me. I want I want application readers that look like me. Yeah. I want people who approve these applications that look like me. I want all of it. You understand what I'm saying? Like, I want everything from seed to fucking soul, like all that shit to law. Yeah. Because the thing is that where we like the problem with the difference, the reason why you don't never want to do a ballot referendums historically have not worked for us. Yes. Number one, they're very expensive, and number two, you know what I'm saying, where once you do that, you're left out of the dotting of the I's and the crossing of the T's, which is why you want to legislatively legalize. But okay, if this is what we're going to do, fuck it, this is what we're going to do. The thing about being at the beginning, the dawn of a brand new industry, because that's what we are talking about, Osiris. Yeah. That's what we see every day. We see industry. And so when I go in to talk to these politicians and stuff like that, I'll be looking at them and I'll be telling them all the time, like, listen, I am not here talking about some damn program. I'm not here talking about some fucking grants. I am talking about industry. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm the only person in here. Even when I went and talked to the mayor and the city council, I was like, I'm the only one here talking about an industry. And all I'm hearing is about is programs and grants, and we ain't got no money. Okay, well, let's embrace this industry. You see what I'm saying? I start pulling people's bitch cards. Do you realize that the city of New York could actually become a city state? That's how much weed is pumped in there.
Yeah, I know. I believe it. I told you, like, we consume the most weed, and mind you, it's illegal in New York, but we consume the most out of any state.
There's a stress.
No, it's not even the state itself. It's just the city.
Listen. When Cuomo was talking shit last week, and I was loving it. You know what I'm saying? But I had to say, you know, like, listen, when Cuomo was sitting there, and because Mitch McConnell said states should start to declare bankruptcy and everything like that, and Cuomo sat there, he said, wait, let me tell you something, all right? First of all, you want to go there, we can go there. Because Kentucky, you know what I'm saying, you really don't want to ride that train because we put in way more than what we get, and you get way more, you get out way more than what your damn state put in. So you want to talk that shit, we can talk that shit. That was what he was really saying. That's why Mitch McConnell backed that shit down. You know what I'm saying? Because now here's the thing. The reason why that is because of New York City.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? It's because of New York City. The reason why the state of New York puts in way more than any other state. And guess who's number 2? New York is number 1. Guess who's number 2?
Jersey?
Yes!
Yep, right next door.
I'm not surprised because y'all gotta come to work in the same environment we work in.
It's crisscrossing. That George Washington Bridge, it's crisscrossing.
People I'm like, yo, if people really understood, you know what I'm saying, like this country has no clue, you know what I'm saying, how much fucking money is just within this 250 square mile radius of Trenton, New Jersey. If you went into a 250 square mile radius of where I live at, guess where you could be at? You could be in DC if you went south.
You can be
you know what I'm saying? You can no. Philly is only 33 miles from here, man.
Oh, that's close. Wow, so many.
Times Square is only 55 miles from my house. You see what I'm saying? Yes. This is like 45 minutes. You at the beach. An hour, 2 hours, couple of hours. You in the mountains. You can go skiing. You know what I'm saying? Wow. You could be an hour. You in PA. You know what I'm saying? It's not uncommon for somebody to go from Pennsylvania, Jersey, and New York in the same day.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? Or from Connecticut to New York, to PA, to Philly, or to DC to Philly.
Yes, true.
You see what I'm saying? We got this whole Northeast quarter. Do you realize how much fucking money we pumping into this bitch? You know what I'm saying? But the thing is that and it's sad, you know what I'm saying? Like those numbers that I gave you about how many people voted here, you wouldn't think that was the second. You wouldn't think that was the capital city of the second wealthiest state in the country.
What are your next projects that people can reach you? You know, if they wanted to talk to you about New Jersey and what's going on, how can they reach out to you?
Okay, so it's interestingly enough, you can reach me at, of course, everything Facebook and Instagram is all Leo Bridgewater. But where you can really find me at is on Green Rain Media. It's our new cannabis channel. You know what I'm saying? That's launching actually. It's launching tomorrow. I'm sorry, it's tomorrow. GREENREINE.com. We're gonna have a lot of content, to get our get folks, that's new to the cannabis industry, that's new to the cannabis scene. I think people need to know where to go.
Yes.
To find everybody. You see what I'm saying? It's too many groups, it's too many voices, it's too much, and everybody is so many different places. Here's what's going to be interesting as well. And I want y'all to really think about this, okay? 30 million people applied for unemployment benefits last week, okay?
Yeah.
Or 2 weeks ago. All right? Now, they were talking about recession. They were talking about depression and all that stuff. What percentage of those people are going to have jobs to go back to?
Exactly.
Yeah.
What? And then ask yourself this. What percentage of those people who are going to want to go back to a job?
Yes, true too.
What percentage of those people that don't want to go back to a job were kind of curious up until this COVID shit came? Now they're ready to take the plunge.
True.
Where everybody's trying to figure out how to fucking flip that $1,200.
Yeah, where do they start?
Exactly. So, you know what I'm saying? Exactly. First of all, where do I go?
Yes.
Greenrain.com. selfish plug here. Go out to Harmony. Harmony dispensaries in Secaucus, New Jersey, and pick up
congrats.
That Bridge
got a new strain for you guys.
Yeah, Bridge H2O.
What? Okay, is it a hybrid? Is it a sativa dominant? What is it?
It's an indica dominant 70-30. It's a cross between Wedding Cake and Kim Dog. It's crazy.
Wow.
Yeah.
It's a coucher?
Yeah. Put like this. Wherever you smoke, wherever you at when you smoke it, make sure you ain't got no place else to go afterwards.
Yeah.
So let me reiterate that, folks. He got a strand named after him.
Yep. Yes.
Oh, nice.
That's awesome.
Yeah, right.
I'm kind of interested in trying it out.
I got things to do.
No, sometimes you want to be couched.
Well, see, for me, the thing is that this was to address, my thought process behind this was, and I had a lot to do with, going back and forth with the growers and stuff like that, them asking me questions because, one of my issues was, I was telling them that I smoke indicas because I don't dream.
Yeah.
Because what was happening for me was, there's different triggers. You gotta learn what your triggers are and all this other stuff. Yeah. And what was happening was my wife and my son was bleeding into my dreams. So I would be fighting I'm not like wailing or anything like that. I'm just tense like that. And so when I would wake up, I would be more tired than when I went to bed.
Yeah. Oh, that's how I am.
Yeah, because what it is you was working out, that tense and everything like that. And so when I smoke an indica, I don't dream and I sleep hard.
I think I could relate to you, Leo, in that sense, because I wake up more exhausted and
you suffer from night terrors.
And then I have like night terrors and stuff, so it's not.
Dude, that's what it is. And so listen, think about it. If you think about the activity of the night terror, the activity of your body, that's a fucking workout.
Exactly.
It's a workout. You're gonna be tired. Yeah, it's a workout. We don't. But see, that's what. Again, we're not really looking at the data correctly in terms of how we rationalize this shit. And so that's some of the stuff they teach you when you redeploy back from downrange. Yeah. You see what I'm saying? And so talking with them, then they developed the strain, and it's like, and then the other thing too is that it's, in my opinion, Osiris, I know you can attest to this. It's the ultimate industry nod. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, it is.
There's going to be generations of cannabis consumers who are not going to really know who Jack Herrera is, but they know that name, they know that strain.
That's true.
You know what I'm saying?
That is so true. Dude, this is definitely going to have to be another conversation we have to extend, bro. We definitely have to do this again because it's already exciting just to have you on, just knowing the things that you're involved in. And I know you have so much to share. And especially with the elections coming around the corner, because it's going to come sooner than later. People don't realize it. Before you know it, it's here. You're on top of you. You're going to be like, what do you want to do?
Listen.
You know what? I'm going to hold my question for you, too, the next time we talk. And we're going to talk about not so much of a movement, but getting people out to vote within the cannabis industry. But we're going to I want you to keep that in mind. We'll talk about Leo,
No. It's not getting about the vote because they do that.
Okay.
They vote. You see what I'm saying? That's not what it is. It's what to do with their money.
Then let's talk about that. That's gonna be our next.
That's a nice topic.
Let's go with the next topic then.
Like in the realm of politics. That's what to do with their money in the realm of politics, and when to make phone calls. You got to literally give them what to do.
All right. Just call to action.
Yeah, no doubt. Yeah, marching orders.
Man. All right. This has been great.
Thank you so much.
Thanks for having me, y'all. For real. It was can't wait till episode 1000. See y'all.
Definitely. We must stay in touch, man. Thank you again.
All right. Later, y'all.
Later. Good night.
Thanks for tuning in another episode of
Love and Cannabis.
I'm Osiris Stephenand.
And I'm Nina Simmonsto.
Be strong
and stay empowered.